Well, hello, welcome to I Love Gay today. And this is fun. We're in South Africa today, and we are here with filmmaker Gabe Gabriel and actor Earl Gregory. How are you two?
Good.
Hi,
Hi.
Mark. So
Thanks for
good.
having us.
It's such a pleasure to connect with you both, and you're just proving out once again. I mean, once upon a time, we all got connected on the internet, and then we started chatting with each other and communicating more and more. But now this level of collaboration and how everybody just sort of engages with each other, it's at a whole new level now.
Exactly. It's great.
Yeah,
It's really great.
that's what's brought us together here. And you have a film that you guys that you put together, No Hiding Here, that is on
So
ShowMax,
ShowMax.
ShowMax
Yeah.
in South Africa, which is a big deal. Tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, sure. What's really exciting about it is that as far as we can tell, and as far as Google will allow us to know, we believe it to be the first gay rom-com in South Africa that has been commissioned by a major network here. We have had gay content in some of our, like even the Best Picture nominee from South Africa a few years ago, in Ingweba or The Wound, was gay, and there have been a couple of other gay films, but we haven't had like a lighthearted, fun, chilled rom-com. You know, a lot of it has been about the sort of torments and trauma and pain of queerness, which has its place and is obviously important, but we're really excited to be bringing the first just basic ass rom-com to the screens in South Africa. And ShowMax is it's kind of like our main streaming service. It functions very much like a Netflix or an HBO here.
Yeah.
They host other content as well, but then they also commission South African originals, and this is one of theirs this year, which we're so excited about.
Well, I've just met Earl here today, but if you're going to do a positive, lighthearted rom-com, I'm guessing that Earl must have been one of the top choices for you to work with. He's so positive.
Yeah, exactly.
I come from the world of musical theater, so like I kind of embody that whole light-hearted energy, because I know you, as you know, musicals are always, light and airy and kind of infused with that kind of spirit.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I brought that energy into this film as well.
I love
You really
that.
did.
In
Yeah,
fact,
and Earl plays sorry?
no, go ahead.
Earl plays the lead character in the film is this sort of described as this like beloved, immediately sort of empathetic drama teacher that the whole town loves and the kids all love. And Earl there was no sense from Earl that like he had to reach to get that. He just was that. Everyone adored him on set, and I think it really shines through in the film. So thanks for that, Earl.
It's a pleasure, G.
And that big smile. But before we get too far, what I was going to say, for everybody who hasn't seen or heard of this, let's take a look at the trailer of that.
Okay, everybody, the show's going to be starting in
3, 2, 1. Please welcome to the stage our very own big city celebrity, Caleb Forever.
He's gotta get back out there.
I am not going back out there.
Heavenly Father, what did I do to deserve accidentally inheriting an entire grown-ass celebrity?
You and Benji are like the prom king and prom king of Berrydale.
Thank you.
Where's Benji?
We broke up. Every now and then people let you down. Just enough time to shake something loose in me and then leave.
I hereby prescribe a visit to none other than a burlesque show.
I am loving on myself, don't care what anybody else has to say.
Love will come knocking. I want to be together. I know this now.
I love you.
I thought everybody hated me.
Small town. Big heart.
It's me.
Hi.
Oh, fantastic! And so, for those of us that are creative, have a little bit of we love our technology. If you use a VPN, you can get past some of the firewalls and be able to watch this show.
If you trick your laptop into believing that you're in South Africa, then you're good to go.
Exactly. But you've been making film for a while. Do you have a history of this in this world?
So I lived in LA actually for the 5 years until I came back here in 2019, and I was mostly doing writing there. I was ghostwriting for a while, and then sort of doing revisions on other people's screenplays, and then eventually started getting paid to write from scratch. And I had directed short form content, and I had also produced an indie feature, and my background is in theater acting as well. So that's kind of where I come from. But this is my first, it's my directorial debut in the sense that it's my first feature length film. And it was amazing. I want to keep doing this. I was really happy to see at the end of the process that it's something that I thought, okay, cool. This is it. I feel like I've tried on a whole lot of hats in the film industry, and now I've finally landed somewhere, and I loved it. So that's where I come from.
Wow.
Film was.
When you were in LA, did you participate in some of the things like Outfest and so forth that go on out there?
Yes, I mean, participate is putting it strongly. I was sort of fangirling there. I was there watching all the queer films and stuff like that. And I was actually at the premiere of Kanari, which is a friend of ours' film, which was one of the, I think it might have opened Outfest the one year. Okay. I could be wrong, but it was an incredible South African film that's also queer. But I think my time in LA, I wasn't because I was in the writing world, development goes on for so long, especially there. There's a big difference because there's more money there, I guess. We don't have as much time to go through development here. So a lot of what I worked on there is still in development. It's still like we have half the budget, or we have 3/4 of the budget. We're looking for the rest of the financing. And then I came back here, and things just get made because the production companies don't have time to sit on it for 3 years, like adding more and more cash to it. So,
and with that being said, for your viewers, we had very little time to put this feature together, which just adds to the pressure. But because we have such an incredible team, I think it was just such a great safe space for us to kind of create and to play and to feel held and to feel safe.
Exactly.
It's a rare thing.
Which we were also, I think, all feeling quite starved for because of COVID-19, and we've also had really strict lockdown regulations. All of our queer safe spaces have kind of either been closed down, or there's sort of limited access to them, or whatever. So we made sure that this film was very queer, the cast and crew, in front of and behind the camera. There was just a lot of queers, and I think we all really actually needed that, to all be in one space together and sort of creating together and feeling like it was safe, and like we could all see each other, not having to sort of button up our queerness in any way. That was amazing.
Yes, I know you live in a place that is incredible for that. I was in Cape Town just a few years ago. And they've hosted over the years the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association. They've hosted them to come out as a group to discover it. But it was one of my favorite trips, and we actually rented a car, drove through the garden drive.
Yeah.
Loved all that. Loved it. So anyway, it's very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, it is called what do we call Cape Town, Gabe? The Mother City Queer.
Exactly. And we say it's
Africa.
Exactly, the capital. Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. Cool. Anything on the horizon that that folks have to look forward to?
Lots, but at the same time, nothing that I can say sort of concretely to go look for, because there's, as I said, lots in development. But I think what I'm really excited about is that this process of making this queer film has hopefully made our networks and our production companies see that more queer content is needed. So there has already, since this release, I've already had one production company come to me and say, like, what other queer ideas do you have? Let's try and make it. Let's try and get it in front of ShowMax, etc. So we're trying to just push as much queer content as possible to sort of dilute the singular narrative around queerness here. And everywhere, I think it's kind of universal. We see it in Hollywood as well. There used to be just sort of one gay storyline, and now we're seeing lots more, and we're realizing that there are a lot of ways to be gay and a lot of ways to be queer. So the more stories that are told, the better. It doesn't even matter. They don't even all have to be brilliant. The straights get to make a bunch of crappy movies all the time. So I just say they should just fund as much as possible, and hopefully we can make a few more together. I mean, I would love to work with Earl again. There's so many people who worked on this that I want to get us all in the room again.
You know, from this side of the world, it's like the golden age of television in that sense, because and the reason I say that, over the years, it's, you know, when it comes to what Netflix and now HBO Max and Disney Plus, we've just got all this streaming, and then of course COVID, that was one of the things that really propelled forward quickly last year.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that how much content is now international being seen in the US. We have a lot of Danish shows, there's French, Spanish, but a tremendous amount of content, really good stories are now making their way into our living rooms that actually never really had an opportunity to do so before. And people are watching them and they're talking about them online. So I know personally, I love it. I don't mind reading subtitles, so I've been watching quite a lot.
Yeah, if the stories are good, it just adds to that. And like, I think with no hiding here, it's been such a beautiful experience seeing the kind of queer community reaching for it and embracing it, because like you said, you know, there's all of this international content available. Like I myself was a fan of Tales of the City, you know, and it was so brilliant. And it just also just tells the queer narrative in a completely different way. And like we gravitate towards that, but it's also so under celebrated at the same time, you know, so it's really exciting for us that we get to share our stories with the world, and hopefully people will try and use VPNs to see, you know, the kind of storytelling we make over here. And yeah, we're so excited to share it with the world if it's possible in some small way.
And as you both said in the beginning, that you realize that the community is so much more connected now, especially with the internet, that if we are able to watch each other's stories, we really get to see like, oh, what's happening to me is the same as what's happening to someone in San Francisco or in Australia or in India or wherever. You know, our stories are so specific to our context, but so universal at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just like, just to add.
No, I was just going to say, and I want to hear you, is we just finished It's a Sin last night.
Yeah.
Could have never really watched that a few years ago, but now because of technology, we're you know, and that's completely British show, but very relevant here in the US.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes a show like Pose also so brilliant, because it just has such a broad range of queer characters, and it makes you realize how little we know about each other within the community. You know, you have a trans woman, you have someone with HIV. It's just, so there's something for everyone to kind of gravitate towards in terms of seeing themselves being represented, you know. And I think a couple of years back, maybe not so much in America where you're from, because you guys are more exposed to so much things that are like taboo. It's more out in the open. But like in South Africa, a kiss between gay men on TV, in like a heteronormative kind of sense, it's a big deal, you know. And it's just creating this space to show that like we're here and we are, you know, human beings that want to show love and be loved, and all of those wonderful, delicious things that come with like the whole love theme.
Exactly. And hopefully I think the film is so unthreatening, because it's partially because it's a rom-com, partially because Earl is just so extremely lovable. I don't know what it is, but it's so incredibly,
I mean, like, you would love his face.
It's so soft and warm and fuzzy that I can't imagine someone watching it and feeling threatened by it or angry by it. I just want them to go like, oh, okay, all of the stuff that I'm feeling it doesn't make sense. If anyone does have a negative reaction to it, especially seeing two men kissing each other on screen, if you're having a reaction to that as an audience member, we did it in such a gentle way, which you don't have to. You can do it however the hell you want. We're queer, but we did it in such a specifically gentle way that I just keep thinking like, if you're angry at that, you have to just relax. You have to just laugh, because it's so soft how we did it. And I hope that wins some of the sort of tougher audience members who would maybe have a negative reaction. I hope it wins them over, that we went like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
You guys are wonderful. So no, I really appreciate you guys being able to take a few moments just to even share your story and your time with us, because that's the thing. I have a strong feeling that this won't be the first time that we're connected to you guys in some way, shape, or form through some of the work and your art you're creating.
Yeah, thank you for giving us the platform to talk about the film. I mean, I think what I'm really wanting for the film more than anything is for as many eyes to be on it as possible, because they know that, you know, like any network, broadcast network or streaming service, they just look at the numbers. And I think that I think ShowMax will definitely ask for more queer content and pay more queers to make more work if they see that there is a need for it audience-wise. So I'm just trying to get as many people to watch it. I say, even if you didn't like it, just turn it on, give us a shot, because I don't expect everyone to like it. And especially within the queer community, we have so it's such slim pickings in terms of how much content there is for us, that you end up sort of feeling like you have to like every single thing that you watch, because there just isn't that much. Whereas I kind of feel like, don't like it, that's also great. We need as much different kind of engagement on it as possible. But what I do ask is that people just try to watch it, at least give it a shot, because the higher the numbers, the more chance they'll get more queers to make more work, which is what we want.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys again, and I look forward to connecting with you in the real world sometime soon.
Thank you too. When you come back to Cape Town, we'll have a drink.
We'll show you the sights in Cape Town.
I love it.
Exactly.
Take care now.
Thank you, Matt. Bye.
Bye, Matt. Love and light.
Feels good, so good. Coming back again.